Welcome to my binding video. Today we're looking at the Akiles DuoMac431, a 4-to-1 coil and 3-to-1 wire binding machine. Step by step, let's bind a book and watch the DuoMac431 in action. With 3-to-1 wire binding, you'll make your punches with the top slot. Starting with the covers, slide them into the throat of the machine. Use the side margin control knob to adjust, set, and lock papers in position so all punches are made the same throughout the project. Pull out any of the disengageable die pins you might need for the size paper you need so there are no half holes punched. And to make your punch. And continue to punch through the rest of the papers in your project. When all your holes are punched, assemble your project, it's time for binding. Threading your project over the wire bind is probably the most difficult part of the process. You need to choose the wire that best fits your project. You can do so with the graph on the front. With the dial on the right, you set the stop point for the closer, which best fits the size wire you're using. Drape the wire over the fence in the front. In wire binding, there's a little trick where you can hide the seam of your final bind. Simply take the last page and flip it over so the back of the back faces the front of the front, and the seam will be hidden between the last page and the back cover. Thread your project over the teeth of the wire spine, and make sure all the teeth are fitting through all the holes. Lift your project up off the fence and turn it around so that the C of the wire bind faces down into the closer. Lay it flat and make your close. And here's where you see our little trick pays off. The seam is hidden between the back page and the back cover. Chips fall into the waste bin below and can be accessed from the front. And that is 3-to-1 wire binding on the Akiles DuoMac431. This is 4-to-1 coil binding. With your project all ready to punch, set the side margin control knob to make sure that all punches are consistent throughout your project. Simply set it for the size paper that you need and clamp down the dial. And pull out any of the disengageable die pins according to the size paper you have, so you have no half punches. Pull down on the long more forward arm, and your holes are punched. Continue to punch through the rest of the pages in your project. And now it's time to bind with your 4-to-1 pitch spiral coil binding. You can do so by hand or with a separate machine. And that's basically it with 4-to-1 binding with the DuoMac431. There's also an adjustable depth of margin punch control knob on the right hand side, so you can punch a deeper, much more stronger margin for larger projects. And it's that simple with the DuoMac431 by Akiles. For more demos and reviews of this product and many more, check out MyBinding.com.